Discipline is built with small, consistent steps rather than huge leaps in a single bound. I have been training mostly body weight and trying to build muscle for the better part of a little over 2 years at this point. I used to weigh 135 pounds, 135 pounds. I'm now sitting at 185 pounds. I don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't look like Sylvester Stallone. I don't look like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Definitely wish I did. Um, but I'm not because I'm a natural. And contrary to popular belief that has been promoted on social media and a lot of these fitness influencers, men and women alike, it takes time. Some people have good genetics, some people are more prone to build muscle quicker, but building muscle takes time. And you're not going to have a perfect schedule. Not every day you're going to be wanting to go to the gym. And some of those days you might give in to that laziness, that undisciplined, unmotivated path. And I remember when I wanted to start, I was thinking of, oh, I'm going to have a workout plan. I'm going to stick by it, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets of 20 reps of this exercise, chest, and then we'll do back. I'm going to do a full body workout every day, I'm still a beginner. And I'm going to eat this food, rice, chicken, broccoli, the same generic shit that you hear a lot. But how the hell am I going to do all of that if I won't even get up half an hour early to go do that? Here I am, and I see a lot of people make the same mistakes when it comes to wanting to build good habits. They have their ideal of what they want to build and what they want to have. I'm going to have this workout plan, this meal plan. I'm going to do this every day, and within 3 months, I'm going to be ripped. I'm going to be jacked. Yeah, that's not how it works. But not only will you not really be jacked, sure, you'll be in a better shape, but you won't be jacked. But do you know how hard it is to build just one habit? So, how can you build actual strong habits? Well, I've learned this the hard way, and this is why it took me over 2 years because I was someone who was very undisciplined. Now, I've always been active, I've done martial arts for a while, and one of the things I've learned is sometimes less is more. So instead of getting up at 4 a.m. and hitting the gym and doing a workout, then doing a cold plunge, and then doing a meditation, and then having my, perfect balanced breakfast meal, and all this other shit. Instead, I just got up early and went for a walk. Half hour early. I wake up at 7, wake up at 6:30. Go for a walk. Or use a half an hour to make a decent breakfast. That's all. Because now I'm building the habit of getting up half an hour extra early, giving me a whole 30 minutes more. And then walking, doing something within that half an hour. You build that over time, then you can start to build on top of it. You need a foundation. No one starts walking as soon as they're born perfectly. It takes one step and then a fall. Then you get back up, you take the next step, you fall. But as long as you take that one step, that's what matters. We got up, went for that walk. Then, I decided, what? Let me do some push-ups. The first thing I'm going to do when I wake up is I'm going to get up, I'm going to go for a short walk, and then at the end, I'm going to do some push-ups. 10, 20 push-ups, doesn't matter. But I got to do push-ups. And when you don't have a specific number or goal in mind, all you know is that I'm just going to do some push-ups. That's it. No how many, no what kind, and just push ups. You kind of relieve some of that pressure, and it allows you just to do the basic act itself without trying to make it performative for yourself to stroke your own ego. Oh, I did 50 push ups. Like, dude, don't care about the number. Just do the push ups. And I find it a lot, and I see it a lot on YouTube. To be like, do this ab workout, and in 3 months you'll have six-pack abs. I think I heard a saying that there are more people with $1 million than there are people with six-pack abs. Or is it $1 billion? I don't remember, but it's really hard to get abs. And it's not to say you can't do it, you just have to be extremely dedicated and disciplined. But 3 months, simple 6-minute workout, come on. Let's grow up a little bit here. I don't want to be like a party pooper, but I want to be honest with you, and this is realistic. I've been training for 2 years consistently, and I've had some off days. I'm human, but all I know is that I'm going to get back on the horse every single time. And as long as I do something, that's what counts. And I feel bad for people who do like steroids. It's just a quick, cheap way to get ahead. And I mean, I don't want to shame anybody who does do it, but I don't know if the risks outweigh the rewards. I mean, the things that you have to deal with after just to get a solid physique, I mean, that's pretty scary to take that risk. And that was my cure to the illness that I think a lot of people have, is this pressure for time. Discipline does not care about time. It only cares about how to utilize that time. So when they say you're gonna get six-pack abs or the ideal physique in 3 months, that's a trap. And they do that to basically hijack your mind to thinking that you can achieve this superhero like physique in 3 months. That's not the case. Even if you went hardcore, obviously there's exceptions, but that's extremely unlikely. It usually takes about a year, and that's if you have extreme dedication. But people got jobs, people are busy, people got personal problems, and all kinds of things. And it's not to make an excuse for little effort. It's just to be like, hey, like, first of all, you don't need to have this body in 3 months. When I started working out, I just said, hey, I'm just going to eat as much as I can because I was in a bulking phase at the time. I'm just going to work out, do something, anything. As long as I'm doing something and building the habit. And I built it slowly but surely. And eventually, I just did like a 5-10 minute, you know, bullshit of, push ups, sit ups, and squats. That's how lazy I was. But then it became a 15-minute solid workout, nonstop, no rest, chest, abs, legs. Then I started doing back and it became 20 minutes. Each body part was like 5 minutes, hitting the weights more. And then it became half an hour. And then it became a full hour. And it's been about an hour ever since, sometimes a little over an hour, or I can maximally do a 45-minute workout efficiently because I've been able to utilize my time efficiently. That takes time and it takes trial and error. And I tried all different kinds of workout routines because eventually you get tired of it, of doing the same thing. But the point is with discipline is it's not about how you get there. It's really about what you do every single day. And as long as you show up, that's all that matters. Not about when or how you get there. I started waking up half an hour early, going just walking. And you can start the same way too. And it kind of relieves a lot of pressure in your mind. And I wasn't worried about in 3 months, am I going to have the ideal physique? I'm still not. Don't pay attention to the mirror. Don't look at a week or 2 weeks and be like, why haven't I built this physique yet? Because it's bullshit. A lot of these people using filters or they're on some sort of gear. You, if you're natural, if you're not natural, same thing. And this could also be for like people who are just trying to build habits in any kind of direction. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental. Maybe you're trying to learn something new language perhaps. Whatever the case. The point is, don't worry that you don't look like Arnold at the end of 2 weeks or at the end of 3 months or even at the end of the year. I didn't start really seeing results probably until the beginning of my 5th year, where I was like, I built some size, I built some muscle, but not enough to make me go, wow. Because, it takes time. 5 pounds of fat is like this big. 5 pounds of muscle is like this. And it's like that little thing is all over your body. The fat is all over your body too. But see how the big difference is? Because muscle's solid. It's heavier, as we know. But when you look at that ratio, you're like, wow, that changes things. So if I build 5 pounds of muscle in a few months, in a year, 2 years, let's say, you build 5 pounds of muscles in 4 months, right? So you build about 15 pounds of muscle in a year, 2 years, 30 pounds of muscle. Yeah. Now you went from this to maybe this. But that's all over your body. And that's not really a big ratio. 30 pounds of fat. Now we're talking about something else. And I'm just kind of ranting here. But the point is, discipline is all about consistency. People do all these crazy workout routines in the day. You got to be like me if you want to get the ideal physique. No, you just have to fucking show up. When you go to your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, your Muay Thai, boxing, school, work, job, whatever, all that matters is that you walk through that door. You walk through that door. You don't think about anything else. It's just day by day. You got to trust the process. You got to let nature take its course. Because your brain will adapt. It always does. That's the beauty about being a human. It adapts. And sure, it takes a lot of time and we're very impatient creatures. But it always, if not with certainty, pays off. So I just wanted to give a little reminder there, and that despite what people feel like you should be at in your life, just know everyone runs their race differently in life, and all that matters is that you get to the finish line. So, take care.